bit upstate the street, which is just called 2 Bridge
All right, welcome back to another one of my videos, and we're going to do another reaction series. And again, I'm joined by Mr. Big Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I know from back in the day you were a big Magnus Magnuson fan guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you competed against him. Did you ever see when they did the Flintstone barbell lift behind the neck push press?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to go ahead here. They did that at World's Strongest Man a year ago. So I wanted to go ahead and rewatch that. But I wanted to, before we get into that, I wanted to go ahead and get to the old ones, some of the ones that other people hadn't seen. So we'll get into that. We'll watch the old one first because it's kind of a 6-minute quick
blast from the past.
Exactly. All right. You can see it good, right?
Yeah. Is Gary Taylor in this one or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is the one. This is the one between him and Magnus.
Oh, I forgot they put it on barrels. They didn't even have to clean it.
No, it just come right, and they do the exact.
Yeah, there he is. Okay. Massively strong dude, just too short. Did you see the one year where he would have won, but he was too short to put the implement up on the wall, the very first one?
I almost think that's this one, Jim. Because
he was more than strong enough. He just wasn't tall enough.
He doesn't win the show. He wins
what was this guy's name?
Or I forget. Something.
Something. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it'd say it. Man, that was easy.
Now, how much are these weights?
That's 190 kilograms.
So how much? What's that?
400 and like 15 pounds in that range.
Good night, more than I ever did.
I mean, it's heavy. These boys weren't playing around with this. Here's Gary Taylor though. This should just be. I mean, he's
gonna lift it like a toothpick. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I loved Gary Taylor. He was the man.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him because he was short. You remember him, don't you?
Yeah, Garrett Badenhorst. He was a pretty good deadlifter too, if I remember.
He had the world record for years. He hit that 903, I think, in this competition.
Nah, see, he didn't quite have the shot. Well, he looked like he got hurt.
He did. His leg.
Hamstring or something.
He did something with his quad or something. I can't remember what that was. I think he hurt it maybe doing the car flip before that. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. Didn't the car fall on somebody that year? I don't remember. The car fell back on somebody.
It fell on a lot of people throughout the years.
That's what's his name? Martin.
Yeah.
Something.
That's a big dude.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit, but he got it.
Yeah. Wayne Price. Okay. I mean, now we got it. We can hear the names. This was a cool event. I had watched this years and years ago. I loved watching those years that Magnus won. These guys are so much smaller too.
Yeah, I wish they had this in one of my shows because I could have, as an amateur, I could have done well. Not like look at that. Yeah,
he couldn't stabilize it.
Now you see, he popped it up, but he didn't have control, so no lift.
Yep, that was a good call for sure. Now here's the champ himself. Yeah, he wins this year. I know for a fact he did.
Didn't Magnus have a very deceiving build? Like you look at him and you're like, but he didn't look massively powerful. Like
no, he didn't. He didn't look like you. Yeah. He's just such a warrior.
Yep.
And that right there was a personal best for him right there.
Yeah, a lot of technique in that, you could see. Magnus was a guy that got a lot of seconds, second, but would win overall.
Every time, yeah. He just found his way
win them all. Yeah, he would consistently get second, and then end up winning the whole show.
Yeah. Yeah. He's getting psyched up. Now here we go. And then we got the 200 kilograms. That's 440 pounds.
Mm,
That's getting up there.
yeah.
And this is 1996. Phil Martin is, I think, what they said his name was.
Yes, that is Phil Martin. Can you imagine that?
What's that?
That much weight, just popping it from behind your neck, popping it over your head.
I'll tell you what. That's some serious weight there. And at that time frame,
Yeah,
especially, I
this
can't
is
wait
the
now to get into the next one. This is just
yeah.
warming people up for what. That's a
This is what, mid to late 90s,
bam.
mid
Yeah,
90s.
I mean, you weren't going to miss, and I mean, you can't just say nothing about that lockout.
No,
That was a good. That was. That was a really big PR. Now this guy, he's so tight. He doesn't even have it on his back. He's holding it above. He's so tight. He's holding it above
you
right
see
there.
that? He can't get his shoulders down. He's too.
That's well, he got it. 205 kilos.
Oh yeah, he used to do the haku or whatever dance or whatever.
Yeah, there's another guy who does that nowadays. His name is Warrior. His Instagram handle Warrior Rongo Congo, whatever his name is. But he does that same thing.
So not only did he press it, he was actually holding it the whole time with his
Okay,
arm.
210. 210. That's 462 pounds.
464. Yeah,
460. Yeah, 460 in that range. Bam.
yeah, he's talking trash. He
He
knows he's the dominant man in that event.
Yeah. And he was. So there you
No,
go. Gary
I'm
Taylor, a
sorry.
blast from the past. There's Gary. He wins that one. Now let's go to the one from last year. Well, 2022 actually, excuse me.
You're about to embarrass my heroes, aren't you?
No, your opening weight is 385. I don't know. So here we go. Everybody goes through. So here's round two. Everybody's going to 440 pounds, okay? So
And what was that won at 460 something?
for the 200 kilos is 440 pounds. You can see in the top right corner. So the
No, I
other
mean the one
guys,
that Gary Taylor finished with.
oh, yeah. He finished at 210 kilos.
Okay.
So let's see. I mean, everybody's about this guy's. I mean, everybody from back in the day, they weren't hardly bigger than this guy.
Now this is 28 years in the fast forward 28 years, right? Roughly 96,
Yeah.
96-ish to 04,
2022.
2024.
Yeah, 2022.
So almost 30 years later.
Yeah, and he missed it.
Oh,
He hurt his shoulder. You think about that, Jim. I'm telling you right now, you had people are doing the sport of strongman now, so they're doing more events and training for that. Back in the day, you had people that specialized in things. Oh, I'm a power lifter. Oh, I'm a weightlifter. You know. Oh, look, this guy's doing it from the front.
was that legal?
Yeah, but it's harder.
It is. I agree.
So I mean, he didn't help him. He got a no lift. I mean, look, your first two people bust. Now this guy, he's almost
Luke, yeah, I know him.
Luke Stoltman.
Wasn't he almost a champion log presser or real close to it?
Yeah, unbelievably strong overhead press. But he looks like he's a tank.
I used
Look
to
how
love
big
this.
his quads are.
Yeah, I love this this lift. I used to do it in the gym a lot.
Did you?
Yeah,
How did you get it back down when you did it?
Oh, back on my shoulders. Well, that's all the choice we had.
Man, that was easy.
So, yeah, he's powerful. So, real quick, when we did it in the gym, we did it with weights, obviously. And we just take it out like we were going to squat it. And we weren't even in the cage, and we would pop it up. And it's kind of, you're behind your head. And when you get to right about here, you got to kind of shift and get your head under it, kind of like that ears to elbows. And then we would, boom, drop it back on our back again and then go re-rack it. Well, one time I was doing 315 and I could do it, you know, but I just had a bad day and I popped it up and I transitioned to where your head gets under it and then I lost it. I didn't let go of it, but I lost it and I dropped it right on my head, like bam, just like that. I swear I walked around like this for like 2 minutes. Like I shoved my head down into my body. Oh, it hurt, but yeah.
Oh, I guarantee it did. It's amazing it didn't crack your skull.
Yeah, it's probably what's wrong with me now. But
yeah.
So that was 200 kilograms there?
Yeah, that's four. So we had several people fail, and there was people that made it past it on the other one. So had several people fail, several people hit it. Now this guy, he's a pretty darn good overhead presser. He's
Mhm.
got a little bit of issues with as far as shoulder issues and stuff he's had, but when he's healthy, he's pretty good. I don't remember if he's healthy here or not. Look how wide he's going with that with the grip
Yeah,
position.
that's a little weird because
It's like it's making it a snatch.
I wouldn't think you'd have power there,
Wouldn't
not
either.
static power,
He
but a
held it.
shorter range, less power but a shorter range. So I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. He's really just counting on getting underneath of it and having the stability to hold it. Here's Big
Hey,
Brian.
who's this guy?
Yeah,
Who's this guy?
not 5 times world's strongest man like I said he would be. I guess.
No, not that I doubted him. I saw the writing on the wall. He's phenomenal. I would never
Let's
talk
see
bad
how
about
he
him.
does here.
I would be
Big
surprised if
Brian.
he couldn't. He's got some powerful shoulders. At least he used to. Yeah.
Little bit of stability thing, but he hit it.
Mhm.
A little bit of stability, but he hit it. So I mean, but you got to realize, man, what's the difference between him, Jim, and Gary Taylor? I mean, there's probably like
Well,
a
listen,
100
Gary.
or 150 pounds difference.
Yeah, but Gary Taylor's like 5'6" and he's like 6'8" or 9.
True, but
That's a
but
lot
you
more
got it.
frame to carry that weight.
That is true. But look, that was a good technique.
Yeah.
He did that split jerk, whether you like it or not. That was pretty technical. That was
No, that's allowed then, obviously.
oh yeah. That
Is
was
it-
that was allowed back then. You had a couple of
Is
those
that
guys.
Lucius or whatever his name is?
Martins Listis.
Yeah,
Yep.
Lucius.
Yep.
That was banned in my day. You couldn't do like a log press or whatever, or axle press. You were not allowed to do split lifts. It
Well,
had to be.
they tried to do that for several years. In that Worlds last year, in that 1996 though, it was illegal there because you had a couple of guys trying to do it. They just failed it.
Another front press.
He got it. That was
Yeah.
actually really impressive. That's Mitch Hooper. That's
Okay.
his that was his debut. Now this guy here, he's kind of who they've equated to kind of being like the new Zadrunas. He's not as a dominant or anything like that, but you can just see how massively powerful that guy is. He's from Lumberton, Texas or whatever. He's just got a massive deadlift. He's got a massive overhead, massive log, and he did like how Zadrunas used to do the Austrian oak. He does very similar to kind of that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if he can. That was strong.
That was nothing.
Yeah, but I wonder, it was one of those things. I know he's so powerful off his chest, for the log. I didn't know how it was going to go with it being behind him. So we're starting to get the top tier strongmen, and they're all being able to hit this. Now, Tom is
How
somebody.
was Tom's shoulder strength compared to his brother? Because I thought his brother was more dominant in the shoulders than Tom
Well,
was.
after you watch this video,
Maybe not. Maybe not. Was he
How's Gary-
laughing?
after you watch this video of Tom, that's like my whole problem with the leverages thing. Yeah, you do have leverages, but if you have somebody like that who is built proportionate and he's able to put on so much more muscle on that frame than Gary Taylor. Period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not
Look
your
at
average small guy. He's laughing like, "Will you guys
Yeah.
put some weight on here?"
Yeah.
But he's built like a gorilla. I mean, he looks like a walking silverback.
Exactly. There's a big difference between 6'9" beanpole and a 6'9" person who's proportionally filled out with muscle. Now this dude,
Proportionately, yes, yeah,
now look, now he's barely tall enough to get it off the barrels.
yeah. This poor guy's only 300 pounds. So you said,
Yeah, I know.
what a,
Barely.
what a midget. What a puny guy.
Yeah, barely big enough to compete.
Yeah, he'd been a monster in my day.
That's like double. Okay, 210 was what won it. That's what won
Okay,
it.
back in the day, right?
Yeah, and I mean all these guys. I mean that's Luke. Luke weighs 360 or 70 pounds in that range. I mean, huge.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good lift. You see his right shoulder though, just a little bit. Just a little bit. It starts to shake a little bit. He's kind of like the other guy. He's got that massive chest and kind of the front delt thing, but behind his back, you see he's starting to have a little bit of a little bit.
I mean,
of
it was a good lift. He looked like he was locked out. That one shoulder was slightly questionable, but I think it was locked out.
yeah. Well,
I think it was. It's just how he looked.
if it's questionable, the next round will tell that. Here we go. That was
No.
really close.
No. I wouldn't have gave him a down signal. He didn't control it. Look right there. No, he never had control on his left arm, your right side of the screen. Watch his left
Yep.
arm.
Now it starts to dip.
Now you paused it, but watch it in real time. I don't think he had control. At least, no, it was falling the whole time. As soon as he got up, it was, I don't know.
I tell you what, that one right there, I probably would say he had that one, but it's one of those ones that he's gonna. It might have looked fast there, but it's getting ready to come crashing down on another weight. You know.
Look at his belly. What are you eating, Brian? Don't get mad at me, buddy. Did you eat your neighbor?
I guarantee it.
Good night.
He done it. That was big.
That's full. Now, see, look at the difference between that. He had full control.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
and Brian, I think, got second that year. That was incredible. Well, no, it's 2021. Sorry, I think.
Would you say he's one of the most impressive in modern times that's ever done the sport, Brian Shaw?
He's one of them.
I'd say he's one of them. He's in the books.
That was really good.
Good technique.
I mean, you're talking about holding it, Jim. You're not going to argue. You can't argue with that lift. I agree 100%.
That's what I'm saying. When you go back to the other guys, but you're looking at these guys, they're not the same lift. It's not.
No, it's not. Now, this right here is absolutely ridiculous. He's going to try to do it off his chest again.
This is Mitchell Hooper, right?
Yeah, 470.
Yeah. There's that backwards lean.
I tell you what, he came close, didn't he?
He did. He did. He smiled.
Yeah, but at what cost? He looked like he might have got a little hitch in his back off of that.
Yeah.
Now, here's old big Lumberton, Texas. I tell you what, if it was log, I really wouldn't put anybody up against him to beat him, hardly.
I love this event. I wish they would do it more, like mix it up between the axle, the log.
Oh, I agree.
Because, like you said, it puts it behind the neck, behind the back. It gives a different aspect.
That's another one. Can you argue with Lockett on that one?
No.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I can't see the judge, but I'm confident before he started to roll it forward, he had already gotten a down signal.
Probably so. Here's old Big Tommy.
Let's see what Big Tom's doing.
Yeah.
That's an impressive man.
Look, my gosh.
He's just like, I don't see. I stayed out of it for so long. When I first started seeing the Stoltman brothers, the Luke was stronger, way stronger on the shoulders. So I guess he just evolved. I guess maybe he hit his stride. I don't know.
Well, Tom's still young. Tom's my age.
Really?
Tom,
what
yeah,
27.
Tom's like 27 years old. Luke is 40 or almost 40. He's getting ready to be 40. Now Luke just won Europe's Strongest Man. He's actually got a new coach now than Tom. See, before Luke was really, really strong, but it's kind of been looking like Luke has kind of been burning the candle at both ends, trying to keep up with these weights. Like, you figure Luke is so powerful and strong, but he's going in the gym trying to hit 400, 420-pound log, 450 all the time. That's over his body weight. Tom is coming up, training, getting stronger all the time. He's going to these weights, and it's barely his body weight. Think of the difference.
And he's only 27.
Yeah, it's the mileage that was put on his body. Now
he could be my middle child.
Yeah.
So imagine if he's only 27. Imagine him in 8 years when he's 35, when he's not so old that he's slowing down, but he's still in his man strength prime.
Yeah.
If he don't get hurt, imagine what he could do.
If he don't get hurt, it's like him. His name is going to be there. If he doesn't, his name's going to be there. His body is built better. You got a lot of these guys and these names that we're talking about who are really good right now, and they are incredible. But Tom's body, that's my whole point. His body is built to move and hold that weight. Luke has had to change his training. He's got a different coach than Tom, because for Tom to go hit it, it's sub-maximal training for Tom. His body can handle it. It's optimal. For Luke to go hit it, even though Luke might have been stronger at that, his body doing those repetitions, it's maximal for Luke. He had to change that tech.
He's lifting more than his body weight over his head, where the other one's lifting not even as much or the same.
Exactly.
But it's Tom is the younger one, right? I was getting confused.
Yes.
Tom Tom's physique, belly and all, is over all the years that I've ever seen strongmen, Tom's physique is the perfect physique for
Yep.
the sport of strongman. I've not seen a guy with a better physique. He's
No.
tall, but he's not lanky, and he's just like got long arms for the deadlift, for the stone loads, for all that. But it
And he's
doesn't hinder him on
thick.
the presses. And he's
Yeah,
thick.
he's thick.
He's thick.
He's got
Thor has a good physique too for strongman, but I think Tom's got the
Thor does, but I mean Tom is fast.
yeah.
Tom's fast. I mean, he's not
Yeah.
slow. I don't know. I'm not saying Thor's slow. I'm not running him down at all, but I'm just saying
No, but not comparatively to him.
he got
That's good.
so much
Yeah.
leg in that.
Good technique. He locked it out. He held it there.
Yeah, that was
See, that's
okay.
got to make these guys angry when they see somebody and it's rolling off and they're not even locking it out. So how much are we? 226,
We're at 500 pounds right now.
495 was it?
Yep. So this is
498. Yeah.
this is about 40 pounds ish over what the best was 96 so far. Up.
His ham. He was jumping his leg up and down.
Yeah, he had something going on there. You could see he didn't quite have that pop that he had in some of the others.
What
I don't know.
was that 96 that we watched?
Yes.
Okay, I knew it was mid 90s because it was Magnus. So
Let me go just double check for you. Yep. Nope. 95. Excuse me. I've been saying
95.
96, 95.
all right, and so this is last year. So this was what? 23 or 22?
This is 22.
Okay,
This is the year before. This is actually the year before last.
so this is 27 years apart.
Yep. Let's see how he does again. I don't think he's going to hit it. If that arm dipping down, I don't even think it's going to look close. Yep. You saw as he moved it, that arm was dipping. That elbow before it couldn't hit it.
Hey, check me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
Look at the bar that they're using now.
Yep.
Look at the bend. Look at the whipping that it does.
Oh yeah.
When we're done, let's go back and look at the bar there. I think it was a straight, stiff bar, which in my opinion is harder because when you come down and go up, you don't get that flex, that lift that helps you come up. That's
Jim,
just my opinion.
100%. If it is a whippier bar, you can see that. You can
I
definitely
think
see
theirs
that.
was a straight, stiff bar.
That's a really good eye. We're going to go back and look at that.
Hey, man, I got to take up for the old people. I mean, come on. Somebody's got to.
I'll never say that the old guys were. In my opinion, they were the best. Oh my gosh,
You got to.
that was
He
incredible.
powered through it. He didn't get it on the initial pop, and he powered through it.
He did. He just hung in on that lift.
He's impressive. For his size, he's impressive.
He is, because he's another one that can kind of do it all.
Mm-hmm.
He can deadlift. He can squat. He's really good at squatting. Oh, he's always coming in. Whether it's for reps or whether it's for max, he's getting points. I mean, he's incredible. He's had a little bit of issues. He didn't do very good at the Arnolds this past weekend, but that's just like I watched his video. He's got some injuries. He's got to go back and readdress.
Mm-hmm.
Big old Trey Mitchell. He's a barrel.
Yeah.
Wasn't there. That was a shocking one because he
See him hit the back of his head. I think he hit the back of his head coming up.
he
Or
sure
something.
did. Watch him. Yeah,
Yep.
he did.
He
He
in
hit
the back
it
of his head.
hard. His head's too big, Jim.
Yeah, big fat head. There goes my
He's got
mullet.
that power. Yeah, he's got that power head and belly.
Yeah.
He even moves like Zadrunas.
Yeah, that waddle. Here we go.
Now this is something that in your day nobody would have ever thought was possible. A man
No.
who's 6'10"
No.
doing 500 pounds over his head. They would have never. I mean, and look at that. They would have never thought that was possible.
Let me see how long he keeps it up there. Yeah, long enough. It was
And
longer than the other guy. I think he got it
and
down
it's
safely and let it
controlled.
go.
I
Yeah.
mean, that was controlled. There's not even a
Dude,
question.
in my day, the log, Hugo Gerard from Canada had it, and it was either 408 or 413. It wasn't nowhere near what it is
Yeah.
today.
I can't believe he's still in it, but he's just so good.
He's going to get it. I could tell.
That was really good, wasn't it?
That's all. So what we're seeing here is power, and then we're seeing technique, and they're
That's
both getting the
exactly
job
right. It's coming
So,
together.
so imagine, if you will, a guy like Tom Stoltman
Yeah.
that learned the split lift and could get that technique down along with the power that he has.
I'm telling you.
Man, could you imagine that?
Oh gosh, it would be. Well, I got a video for that real quick if we have time after this. I want to
Okay.
click it real quick. It kind of goes along with that.
He got it.
He did.
He got it. It took him
He
a
sure
second, but he
did.
got it.
I'm telling you what, they came to battle this year. They sure did. It's tight at the top.
How do you think an Olympic lifter, like straight up Olympic lifter, would do?
That's exactly what I'm getting ready. That's exactly where we're getting ready to go, Jim.
Okay. Great minds think alike. Wait a minute. No.
Questionable.
No.
I don't know if
No.
they give it to him. Let's
His
see.
right arm left the screen. No. Look.
It's already going forward. It's already out in front of him.
Yes.
He
No,
couldn't. He couldn't hold it.
Does he get another attempt? Do you get
We'll
like 60
see.
seconds or 90
I don't
seconds?
know.
No, they give good lift.
Yeah, they sure did, didn't they?
Did you see
Tell
that
you
guy
what.
walking down talking to the judge? What's wrong with
Yeah.
you? That wasn't a good lift. Now, how much weight was that?
518 pounds.
Yeah. That they shouldn't have given him that. That was not a good lift.
No, it was.
And I believe he can do it. I just
Well,
think
and Jim, even if they hadn't given that, he still is top 3 right there. I mean, let's not.
Yeah. That was a good lift.
Yeah, it was.
No, he's more than capable of doing it. He just didn't do it that time.
Now here we go. Final. I think this is the.
Yeah, nice. You're approaching 100 pounds more than back in the day.
You're getting close.
30 pounds off, 30-some pounds off.
You're right. Yeah.
So about 70 pounds, almost 70 pounds. Nah, he knew he didn't have it.
Takes a bow, but Jim, even in Gary in his weight. I mean, Gary competed in weightlifting, was a champion at that. In his rightful weight class.
Mhm.
Let's see what he does. Let's see if old Tom hits this. Now he really was questionable in the one before it.
That was better than his last one.
It was. They gave that one to him. Let's see it.
Was better than his last one. And this is more weight. That's why I said I know he could do
it up. I mean, it's locked. There's no question about that. The control.
It's just a matter of how long was it locked. But you know what? Look at this too. His feet, his hips, and everything else was perfectly stable.
Yep, it was in line.
He wasn't juddering around, So maybe they gave it to him because he did lock it.
All right, here comes Novikov.
So is it down to these two?
Yeah, it's just these two. Novikov performed like an absolute beast this year. He was so good. He got hurt on one event for a height thing, Jim, and it took him out of first place, and Tom won. It was a height event. I can't remember what it was in this contest, and he tried his best, but he dropped between points.
Between Novikov and what's his name?
Alexei Novikov, yeah.
No, the other guy.
Tom Stoltman?
No, Lises.
Oh, Martins Lises, yeah.
Between him and him, they have had the best, cleanest, locked out lifts with control that I've seen so far today.
Yep, 100%.
Their form is impeccable.
Really is. The strength to have the stability on it is ridiculous as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, how much is this? 542?
542. Look at that bar whipping on his back.
Mm-hmm. Those cheating bars they're using these days, I'll tell you.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
There was no question about that lift either.
Yeah.
So he won that event. I thought that was pretty incredible. I mean, now I'm going to back that one up. I love that lift.
I did watch the years when he first started out. He's impressive.
He is. To be able to do what he can do. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to go back to this year, okay? We're going to watch and we're going to see how this bar reacts.
Let's look at this bar, yeah. Look how thick the bar is. Is there any bend? See, they're not showing the right angle.
It didn't bend. That thing is a stiff bar.
That's a straight piece of steel. That's a straight piece of steel.
That's not bending at all in their back when they're coming up out of the weight. Now, really quick, since you were talking about how would a weightlifter fare, do you remember Mikhail Kokayev?
from
Russia.
yes, yeah.
He was an Olympic weightlifter, went and did strongman and really pushed the log with Zadrunas in a lot of those events, but also was just a massive deadlifter back then. I mean, just
Mhm.
phenomenally strong. Went and did powerlifting. Anyway, Misha was doing an exhibition lift, and like they didn't they didn't do any event like this during his day when he competed. Had they done it, I want you to watch this. He's in a pair of shorts and a polo t-shirt. Okay.
Yeah, he just ate
Okay.
lunch somewhere. He's good. Yeah.
Yep. And you know how much weight this is? That's 270 kilos. That's 600 pounds. Okay.
Well, wasn't the Olympic record six something for the overhead? I forget the clean and jerk or the snatch. I forget. It
It's
was six
almost.
something.
It's not quite there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you talk about. I mean, look at that.
He's only wearing one arm sleeve.
Yeah,
One elbow sleeve.
and his belt's just some tiny little belt.
Yeah,
It's
he's in
not
a
anything.
polo.
Yep. Just pop, hold. Don't you know
Yeah.
that guy just as jealous like as could be, wish that he could had an event like that because he was another guy who did phenomenal in World's Strongest Man. Super, super strong with like so many things, but he kind of was always the uncrowned guy. Wasn't quite he's just second and if he did in multiple sports, but he's kind of always the second, third guy, but another
Mhm.
another incredible. So anyway, what do you think of those comparisons?
I like see. I loved, even though I was not a great overhead presser, but I was okay for my time. Like in my time, if you did, as an amateur and during my years, if you were at least doing 300 on the log, um, you were respectable. If you weren't getting at least 300, you weren't respectable, but at least you were respectable.
Yeah.
And a lot of times 330 or 350 or 360 would win a show. So if you did at least three, you were respectable.
Sure.
Um, so now looking at the time, we're talking 27 years between the old guys and the new guys. Now let's add in the whipping bar. How much do you think that would add? Realistically, how much if they had used a different bar back then with the whip getting the come down and as it pops up, that's you're exploding at the same time. How much realistically do you think that would add to it?
Well, that's a loaded question because it really depends on how well could somebody
Your
uh
dip drive and all that,
man, it depends on how well could somebody make that technique work with them, I mean,
right?
if you were doing more Olympic style weightlifting like somebody like Gary Taylor, well, it would have been tremendous. I mean, Gary,
Yes.
let's just be honest too in that show. When he hit 410, he didn't even do or sorry, when he hit 210 kilos to 460 some pounds, he did not even do a split jerk.
No, he
He
just
didn't
clean
have
press. Yeah.
He just did a quick little push press and that was
Hmm.
it. So
Hmm.
even then, if you want to get into it, if you give him a bar that whips, he still would be way the smallest. But give him a bar that whips and you let him go compete with the guys, the same exact setup at Worlds this year, he would have definitely made it. Um,
He would have pushed more.
I think he would have definitely made it to that round of 500 pounds, no doubt. He would have
I
been.
believe
He would
so,
have come
yeah.
probably top five in that event at
Plus, you
least.
figure back then he's like a lone wolf. He's got nobody pushing him to go
Exactly.
hard because no one can compete with him.
Right.
Um, so that's like after watching this, I'm ashamed to admit that my best behind the neck push press. And no, I didn't know how to do the split jerk or nothing like that. It was just a dip drive. Was only 335. Now that's with a stiff bar. So even if I learned the technique and even if I had the whippy bar and let's say I went 15 more pounds and did 350, that's still embarrassing to compared to what I just. Of course, I wasn't big like them either, but
Yeah, but it's just times.
that was interesting to watch the old guys versus the new, the old setup versus the new. If you also notice too, I don't know if this makes a difference or not, but the stones were way further out on the new lifts than the old. Look at
Well,
the
of
old
course
lifts.
that
The
makes a
stones are
difference.
like this close, and on the new lifts they're out here. I
Well,
don't
why
know if
is
that makes
that?
a difference.
Why
I
is
don't.
that? Because it makes the bar whip even more.
Well, yeah, yeah. I'm
That's
sorry.
why Larry Wheels would bench press with a deadlift bar.
Oh, really?
And the reason he would bench press a lot of his videos with the deadlift bar, I mean, he still did incredible lifts in powerlifting, but whenever he
Sure.
would go to powerlifting meet, it was way different because when he would bench press for reps, that bar would be whipping around his
Yeah,
chest like that. You know,
yeah,
it does make a difference. And like, you know, that's kind of the thing where the sport's going a lot of ways too. People want to see maximum weight lifted. And
right.
with that being said, they have
Yeah,
they've given it to where, you know, before it was make it as hard as you can, something that should be whatever, make it as hard as you can and just see who's strong enough to do it. Now it's like make it as good as you can so we can
yeah.
see who can lift the craziest number to be seen.
Still make it legit so you're not really cheating, but let's add some things in that will allow you to lift more.
Sure,
And
exactly.
and I guess that's cool because they people want to see, like, who's going to keep working, who's going to keep watching World's Strongest Man if they never lift more weight year to year to year.
Sure.
People are
Yeah,
going to stop lifting it. And,
sure.
and on that, I wanted to say quick, I meant to say last time, for people that have never watched Strongman or never got into it, to me, and I'm not knocking powerlifting, those guys are statically monsters. They're unbelievable. I'm not knocking things like arm wrestling or Olympic lifting. Those guys, in their own aspects, in their own worlds, they're monsters.
Yeah.
I will knock bodybuilding, uh, but strongman to me is exciting for this one reason. When you watch a powerlifting meet, you pretty much know, hey, this guy's got this. This is his max bench. This is his max deadlift. This is his max squat, and you kind of know it. And there's a lot of times there's not really a surprise because you kind of already know who's going to win or who's going to at least get top three. You kind of have a pre-notion. But in strongman, like anything can happen. Surprises happen all the time. Just
Yeah.
like the dude, the last one we did, that has a 500-pound shoulder press almost and couldn't press a 300-pound ball. There's always surprises. There's always like that X factor that anything could happen. And
Yeah.
that's why I love strongman so much. It's just a
Yeah.
pure form of strength.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more. That's like the greatest synopsis. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up on this one, but everybody, thank you again for watching, and hope you like that video. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel out, helps it grow, helps me keep doing these videos. But that being said, thank you for watching, and as always, more content to come. Thanks.